What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. Today, I'm going to showcase a Pokemon that you might not expect to be any good. It's a Pokemon that you might look at and think it's unplayable in PvP, but let me set the record straight. This thing is way better than you might expect. It is still very spicy, don't get me wrong. It's pretty squishy, but it's got a great moveset, a great typing. I mean, we should stop just pretending that we don't know what this Pokemon is. It's in the title of the video, right? It's Flamigo. This Pokemon is a flying and fighting type Pokemon. It's very squishy, but Wing Attack plus Upper Hand and Brave Bird is a great combination of charge attacks. I feel like the best thing about this Pokemon is the coverage is pretty strong against a lot of common cores. The only issue is flying and fighting defensively is not the best, but offensively, almost nothing wants to take this damage. It's a very fun Pokemon to use. I'm excited to see what it can do. Real quick, before we do get into the battles, so I want to ask if you're not subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Helps out quite a bit, and I'd really appreciate it. But let's get into the battles and see some Flamigo action. Alright, first opponent of the day. Flamigo, I've got some faith in you. I know you can work. Oh my goodness! What? Okay, well, battle of the birds, whatever you'd call this. I actually have the good fast move in this matchup, though. We're running Wing Attack, they're running Low Kick, and likely just a Flying Press coming through, but I have to shield anything from this Pokemon. Obviously, Hawlucha does a lot of damage here. I'm not a bulky Pokemon myself. Oh, they actually do bait us. Interesting. And Aegislash comes in. If I'm being honest, kind of need to see that here. I don't have a great answer to it on my team. So happy to see it come in, and we'll see what they want to do. Because now I have at least back-to-back Shadow Balls, and I am very fine losing Switch Advantage this game as long as this Aegislash is low on HP. Because the lower this thing gets, the easier it is for my Flamigo and my Cresselia to kind of deal with it. I'm in 2 Gyro Ball range, so if they do want to go for the back-to-back moves here, they can knock us out, but I mean, at this point, I'm not scared of Aegislash. That might be the first time I've ever said that. Actually, that's a lie. I used to really knock on this Pokemon. I never thought this Pokemon was really all that good, but like recently, it's really started to pop off in regional tournaments. I shouldn't be insulting it too much. I mean, it is my favorite Pokemon in the franchise. I just have never been quite as fond of it here in PvP. Wasn't really expecting the swap out by them, actually. That kind of threw me off there. With that said, we have the upper hand on this Hawlucha. We get the shield, okay. No debuff. I have no idea who wins this CMP, but I guess I'm going to shield this up, because, like, anyway, I do win CMP into Aegislash with my Flamigo. I wouldn't be surprised if the final Pokemon this game was, like, their own bulky Pokemon, like a Licky Licky. And I'm going to go for the Brave Bird here to guarantee a knockout in case Aegislash does come back in, which, yeah, we do see that Pokemon come in here. So now Brave Bird either gets a shield or a knockout. I would love to see a knockout, honestly, just so we keep Flamigo alive. Ah, of course, they have to go for the move. Unnecessarily BM on their part. I do kind of want this Aegislash out of the way, so despite the fact here that it is energy dry, I'll likely still have to go for a Shadow Ball into them eventually once, you know, it stops doing what it's doing here. Oh, well, that's a good Pokemon to see. See, this is why Cresselia, I think, is not a bad pairing with Flamigo. There's a lot of good things that this duo can do. And Diggersby here, it could go for Scorching Sands potentially to try to debuff me, but even if it does, it just doesn't do that much damage to us. Psycho Cut did get buffed pretty recently, and because of that, I actually have some fast move pressure here. It's going to put them into 2-shot range a little bit quicker than they'd like, and even though Aegislash is a pretty good wall into Cresselia, well, there's 2 reasons why that's not going to help out too much for them. The first reason is obviously they're pretty low on HP, and the second reason is I can just swap to Licky Licky at any point here too, so we should be very fine. They're going to go for another Scorching Sands. If they get a debuff, then they will survive this next move a little bit easier than I'd like, but no debuff. And in comes the Grass Knot. This game should be ours now. It's going to take a second to play out, just because Aegislash and Diggersby are so bulky. The Grass Knot does come through, almost gets the knockout, and now we see this thing come back in. Yeah, they realize at this point not much they can really do there. We get the win. I guess we saw the bird-on-bird action, the flying fighting types. Okay, we see Empoleon on the lead. I would imagine Flamigo straight up wins this matchup, although I also imagine this is one of those funny spots where they're always just going to catch on us on one of my upper hands, which is really annoying. So we'll see how they play this out. At least I get to avoid this matchup into our backline for a minute, because obviously our backline is not the strongest into Empoleon, but it's not like they're hard-walled by it anyway. They do shield, so I'm going to match shields here. There is a good chance we see a catch on the next attack, but there's also a good chance they just want to play out the, like, I don't know, 1 or 2 shield matchup too, because, like, they're actually doing some fast pressure against us with these metal sounds. Alright, well, what do we think they're going to do, and what do they have in the back line with an Empoleon lead? Likely an Altaria, I would have to imagine. At least somewhere on the team. I'm going to shield this up. We didn't get a defense drop that time, but we did get a defense drop on the first one, which doesn't matter a ton, but it is kind of nice, I guess. I should drill peck there. I'm kind of surprised by that. Ooh, I don't have a great Malamar counter. I'm actually a little soft to this Pokemon. You know, you can't be perfect in the Go Bad League. Sometimes you're going to have some weaknesses, unfortunately. And today our weakness is going to be Malamar. With that said, they do have to superpower us to knock us out. And I can trip them down into single charge attack range here by going for that Shadow Ball. I don't know if double foul play is enough, so I think they do have to go for the big attack to KO us. We'll see, though. Big superpower. We do survive that. And now they have debuffed themselves, which is good. And I think now it might not be as risky to bring in my Cresselia here. We'll see, though. Because Cresselia sure doesn't have any fast move pressure, but it should be able to survive their fast move pressure and a foul play here, too. Okay, really smart switch out by them. Very smart swap out. This is going to get very dicey depending on the final Pokemon, but I think Altaria in the backline or some sort of dragon does make a lot of sense. But now I will take a full damage foul play from that Malamar on my Cresselia, because they bring it in now, right? Yep. And obviously I can never farm this down here. Oh, I could have... They would have let me instantly Grass Knot. That's crazy. It's fine, it's fine. We still have a chance here. It could be Quagsire. We could one-shot things in the backline, or just, like, out-bulk them, too. We'll go for the Grass Knot now, that we have enough energy to hopefully outpace whatever they have in the backline to 2 moves. Like, if it is Altaria, we should get to 2 Moonblasts. If it's something else, I guess we'll see. It's Digger's Beam, and it's on Mudshot. I mean, I don't think the fast move really matters here. More so the fact that it's just a bulky enough Pokemon to survive 2 Grass Knots. It is something that's good for Cresselia, but I don't believe it's going to be good enough. Yeah. Oh, yeah, especially with the attack drop. I don't think that matters. So we already saw the Diggersby matchup doesn't quite get 2-shot there by Grass Knot from full. Dang it. Okay. Well, I guess Malamar might be a bit tricky for this team. All right, next opponent. Stone Collection. I wonder if he's running his Rainy Castform. Oh, he actually is. He was running this this last weekend at a regional championship in Europe. Very good battler. Very cool Pokemon to see. Big problem is, I don't exactly know how this matchup plays out. Maybe that's a crazy thing to admit, but I've never studied the Flamigo Castform matchup. But I bet Flamigo wins the 2-shield matchup here. At least I hope it does. Maybe it doesn't. If I got a debuff, it definitely could be able to farm down. Dude, I love Flamigo's, like, little hops. He looks so whimsical. You know, it's hard to put into words what this Pokemon makes me feel, but it feels like he's just having a good time. And that makes me happy. All right. Upper hand here on a potential Weather Ball CMP. They don't go for it, but it looks like I might still be able to get a farm down here. It's going to be kind of close because these water guns are generating a bit more energy than I'd like, but even still, there's a defense drop. Yeah, we should get the farm down now. I'm not necessarily weak to this Pokemon, but I wouldn't mind winning Switch with our backline, and I likely get an upper hand or Brave Bird off into something else this game. Okay, Tinkaton in the back. Another kind of tricky Pokemon for the team. That's the main issue with building a team around Flamigo, is there's a lot of things that you might not necessarily want to see with this Pokemon, and it's hard to pair a team around that, right? With that said, it's still not an unplayable matchup here. 10. Alright, so they have a Gigaton Hammer. What's going to be in the back with this? Castform, Tinkaton, pretty solid core. They're at 3, 4, 5. I'm going to go for a bait, because if I get a shield here, which I might, then I end up getting the bait plus a nuke before they're able to get their next move off. Nice. Unless they go for a Bulldoze, which they do opt for a Bulldoze instead. So likely you're going to see a switch out happen on their end, which is a smart play. They're at 1. Okay, and it's their own Licky Licky that comes in. I don't love this necessarily, but we'll see what we can do. Tricky team, not gonna lie, very tricky team to face. Okay, I'm gonna bank a Shadow Ball here and hope that my Cresselia is somehow good enough to win us this game. It's gonna come down to the wire with what we can do here. But by banking that Shadow Ball, I might be able to get some nice damage off into the guy later. You know, the Tinkaton. We'll see. They're at another move right now, but they're dry after this attack. Man, my Flamigo is so good this game. It's just my backline here, a little bit soft to what they have. I'm gonna go for the Moonblast. Maybe I should go for double Grass Knot, but I don't think I can, honestly. Moonblast is gonna hurt a decent amount, but they do survive it. Castform comes in, and they get quite a few water guns, which I don't love to see necessarily, but maybe I can still get the farm down. We can. All right. Well... Okay, I didn't get the CMP sack swap that I was hoping for, but maybe my Flamigo can still win this game? I need to get an upper hand off somehow into this Tinkaton here. And they're at 3 Fairy Winds. Oh no, I thought that maybe one fast move here would knock us out, but unfortunately, they get 2, and I might just get Fairy Winded down here anyway. Wait! Oh no, I would have... If I survived that next Fairy Wind, I could have won this one. Flamigo! Oh my goodness, that's about as close as I think I can make that backline, I'm gonna be honest, but that was... We almost had it there. Alright, next opponent. We gotta get a game that doesn't just completely core break us, right? Well... Dang, that's not great. With that said, I do have a lot of neutral damage here. I think I'm gonna stay in for a second, maybe try to go for a discharge catch, or maybe just go for an upper hand. Because if I end up getting this off, this is gonna do more damage than what my Licky Licky could do into them. So honestly, this might not be a terrible play. Okay. We try to go for a catch, it doesn't quite work, but we might still get some energy out of them. They're at 100 energy right now, so they have back-to-back Mud Bomb or Discharge, whatever they want to throw. What move is it going to be? Wait, they're at 6. Wait, they still Discharge? That's crazy. Oh, they bring in Togekiss here? That's not really an answer to us, but, like, it's not bad. They're so soft to Cresselia. That's crazy. Who would be weak to Cresselia in this day and age? With that said, it's, like, probably a... second flying type in the back, right? 8, 9. Alright, I think I'm going to shield this up. I gotta shield something this game. I need to save some HP on my Licky Licky. And now I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball here, and I think I'm going to swap into my Cresselia just to try to absorb the energy and go for a Psycho Cut down if possible. I would love to see a shield here. Likely, though, they... Oh, they actually do shield. I was going to say, likely they don't. But here we are seeing a shield. So hopefully no hard Cresselia answer in the back. They caught? What did they catch on? Oh my goodness, that is not the flying type I thought it would be. Well, this game's over. No! Ah! Yeah, Flamigo. You're in so much trouble, my friend. The Go Battle League is not being kind to you today. I don't understand. Okay, I have overfarmed way past 100 energy right now. The problem is I can't switch out yet. I need to be able to switch here. If I could swap, then I might still have a chance. I probably shouldn't have overfarmed this far past 100, but I was hoping that I could stall the switch clock long enough that I'd be able to switch right here and save the energy, but it's not going to happen. They get an air cutter into us. Or a discharge. They get to... This game, man. This game's just not fair. It's just not fair. It's just not... Nothing about this game is fair. If I could have got the upper hand off, maybe I could have put this into a farm down range. But no. It has to just go wrong in every sense of the word. They have 100 energy on Togekiss, which sure I resist that, but I'm too low here. They have a payback on the Corviknight. If I could have got that upper hand off, then maybe somehow there's a play. But no. No, there is not. That's a tricky team to deal with. They are so soft to ice types, but normally whenever I see a Euphis lead, like, they just disrespect ice so hard anyway, so it's not surprising, but it is disappointing. They should not be even considering what to bring in. I don't know why they're stalling their switch clock there when there is nothing I can do. We lose that game. Dang it, we gotta get a 2-3 here at the very least. I think it can happen. Alright. It's the moment of truth. Can I at least avoid a 1-4 set? I don't know. Probably not. This isn't the lead I'd really want it to be, because obviously here, they do end up having a lot better fast attack pressure into us, and they could be on Drain Punch as well. With that said, I'm going straight upper hand. I bet this does 2-shot here, and it can also debuff the defense stat of the Sableye, so maybe if I get rid of this Pokemon, my Cresselia in the backline is going to be happy. They actually shield that, and I get a defense drop. That's crazy. Alright. Well, they have back-to-back moves here. I don't know if I'd survive a foul play, so I will shield this up. Okay. Is that a CMP? If that was, that actually gives me a little bit of an opening. I would love it if they just threw the charge attack there on CMP. I do, unfortunately, not knock them out, but at least we neutralize a lot of what this Sableye can do. So, We'll see what happens. Cresselia in the backline might still have a bad matchup, but maybe it's safer now that this Sableye is out of the way. Okay, well, Ufisk is not what I want to see. We'll switch out there and hope for the best. Wait a second. That's not bad. Okay, I think this is playable. I need to land a Grass Knot into that Ufisk. But everything in the backline here is very weak to Grass-type damage. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... And honestly, these Psycho Cuts are almost going to put them into a farm down range. Probably not, but I'd be very happy if they did. I do shield the Surf. 10, 11, 12. So they're at their next Surf right now. It's going to be such a strange game. Because Ufisk is not unplayable for Licky Licky. But I just don't know if I have enough energy here. How much damage does a Surf do to us? If it keeps us outside of Mud Bomb range, then I should be fine. And yeah, I don't think that's quite Mud Bomb range yet, so I'm going to instantly throw this. Just get rid of this before more Powder Snows come through. I want to force this Ufisk to have to go for 2 attacks into Cresselia, or 1 attack and a lot of Thundershocks. We'll see how this goes, though. Psycho Cuts having that extra damage is so nice here. I think I survive this. Mud Bomb probably only does like 15-20% to a Cresselia, not 25. And luckily, they don't even have... Oh, okay, they do discharge, because they have double. Interesting. Now, things get even weirder. I don't know how it's going to play out, but we have chipped down this Licky Licky. We have an energy lead on Licky Licky as well. Or did I say, we chipped down the Ufisk, that is. We have an energy lead on Licky Licky. So, maybe there's a chance for us. I'm going to go Shadow Ball double Body Slam. I think that's the play. And I think I do get there first. We'll see. I think we're fine, actually. Like, this matchup is not as bad as you'd think it would be. And also, they kind of throw in bad timing there, I think. So I got extra energy that I didn't have to be given. Yeah, I mean, they need 3 attacks here to knock us out. I'm just 1 more rollout away from my next Body Slam, and if I need to, I can build up to a Shadow Ball, potentially. If they go Discharges, though, it might be kind of close. Oh, Body Slam should be enough. Oh my goodness! Okay, Cresselia, once the Sableye goes down, looks like it's, I guess, just the best Pokemon in the game. Body Slam should get the knockout here, right? Yeah. And we just win it. We win that game against what could have been a pretty tricky Core Breaker lead. Flamigo doesn't care. Flamigo's just too good. We get the win, and we salvage a 2-3 set. Honestly, I feel like we could have done a little bit better this set. I feel like we could have gone at least 3-2. Probably not 5-0, but we'll see in this next set how it goes. All right, next opponent. Let's see, Flamigo, what can you do? Flamigo into Diggersby. That's a pretty good lead, especially if they're on Mudshot. Quick Attack's probably more neutral than I'd like, but they switch instantly into an Empoleon here, interestingly enough. I'm going to go just instantly for the upper hand. And we'll see if we get a shield here or not. But I guarantee in this matchup that I always outpace them to the moves. No debuff, that's fine. And, like, I have my Cresselia in the backline for that Diggersby. But what I am worried about is what if this game they try to go for a catch at some point? And they definitely could. I wouldn't put it past them. Looks like they didn't go for a CMP, so they should be at 6 right now. Big upper hand. We get the second shield. I would have loved to see a no-shield there. Okay. Well, I have the move. They're 1 away from their attack, so I'm going to try to wait and see what happens. Nice. Okay, well, I mean, just getting rid of this is so big for our team, right? Empoleon is such a tricky Pokemon for my backline, and we have Cresselia for Diggersby. We might even get another move off against something in the back here. Okay. I was very much considering just swapping out there, but I didn't, so we'll see how this goes. But, I mean, Cresselia is good into both Pokemon, right? But I don't want to unnecessarily sacrifice my Cresselia. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty obvious catch on their end, right? I don't want to let that happen. That'd be really bad if they got that off. With that said, they're once again on Mudshot here, right? Mudshot going to be able to add up a little bit quicker, or generate energy a little bit quicker, that is. So if they get a debuff, 10% chance to get that debuff, then I'll start doing a little bit less damage. But, like, even if they do get that debuff, I'm kind of fine with that, because it's not like the debuff here does that much to us. We'll go for the Grass Knot. And we will see how this plays out. Yeah, we don't quite two-shot, but we will after the fast move pressure. And they need a third attack here to knock us out. They can't go for a combo play with Togekiss, because we wall them on Cresselia. That's one of the best things about this matchup. Alright, big grass knot coming through. What are they going to do here? Because if they try to go for like a Scorching Sands into a combo play after the fact, I think my Licky Licky just closes up. Okay, I'm fine with that too. Because I should survive 2 attacks here. Well, 1 attack rather, force them to throw 2 attacks against us. And then I just have a Body Slam for that Diggersby. Unless they're on Dazzling Gleam, but then they dump a ton of energy here to knock us out, and then I just run down with Licky Licky. Yeah, just an Aura Sphere. Easy live. That's the best thing about Cresselia, right? It just walls Togekiss, and we actually get the farm down before they even get another move off. So they have to go for the Fire Punch here. And unfortunately for them, I think we all see what move's about to be thrown into this Diggersby. They tried to catch it earlier. And you know what, trainer? You'll get your wish. You'll get your wish. This Shadow Ball is coming. Awesome. Okay. Could have been a tricky game if they went for a catch on that Togekiss. Luckily, they did not go for it, which allowed me just to knock out that Empoleon straight up. Down goes the Diggersby, and we get the win. Toxic? Is that toxic? I guess it could be considered, like, slightly toxic. But maybe that's, like, the least toxic play I could have gone for. Alright, next battle. Hopefully another one of those games you just saw a second ago, where we just have so much play with Flamigo. And I don't know how to feel about this. Regidrago on the lead. Very neutral Pokemon. The worst thing about this is they can probably just go straight Vice Grip here. So once again, it's one of those spots where they could always try to catch on us, potentially. Or maybe they're just going to go for the play here where they just no-shield the first and hope that I don't debuff them. They do shield the first. Okay. Likely a Vice Grip going to come through in just a second. I can shield that up, though. And I would love to get some shields down this game if possible. Do Vice Grip makes sense. I think the play here is just to overfarm. Okay, well, I have a lot of energy there, at least. And Licky Licky might not be the best answer to Fortress, but it's also not bad, especially when I make the timing so awkward for them. By coming in when I did with my rollouts, if they wanted to throw their Rock Tomb before I got my Shadow Ball off, they'd have to give me a full rollout sneak, and honestly, at that point, that's just not worth it. And we also avoid Cresselia into the Fortress, which is pretty nice. They're at 7, so they do have back-to-back Rock Tombs, but they had to go over 100 energy to get there. So they're going to be completely dry after that. And I don't get knocked out by the next move anyway. But they do throw it, which makes sense, because right now, their best play is to try to snipe us down here, or at least get the debuff off against us before I'm able to get my next Shadow Ball through. And that, as I said, is a pretty heads-up move by them. But I have a lot of energy on Flamigo. I have my Cresselia in the backline still that hopefully is going to find a target. Okay, wasn't really expecting that, but I guess they switch into Ufisk, and we bring in Flamigo. So I would love to see a debuff. Debuff would be huge. No debuff. Alright, well, that didn't play out exactly like I was hoping that it would. I'm kind of surprised they swapped there, but well played on their part. It's double electric in the backline. There's the debuff, but I don't think that really matters at this point. The first debuff would have mattered. Now my Cresselia has to go for like a Psycho Cut down here, potentially. Did I lag a turn? No, that was just weird animations. I have to save a shield for a Dragon Energy, right? That's like the one move this game that I gotta actually respect. And I think I just go for a Psycho Cut down here no matter what. Okay. Shield this up, hopefully no bait. They don't bait, that's good, but they do have a lot of energy still. Okay, I'm gonna do something kind of crazy. We'll see how much it's gonna pay off. I'm going for a risky Grass Knot bait, because why not at this point? We get the shield, that's good. Unfortunately, they do end up getting the Dragon Energy here. I was hoping I could go for a catch right then. Oh, only a Vice Grip? Hold on. Overfarm a little bit to try to get to another Grass Knot if I can. We'll see how this plays out. I'm still in range where they need 2 attacks from that Ufisk to knock us out here. And I do have a little bit of Licky Licky around. Like, I could try to go for a catch if I needed to. They do have a catch as well on their Fortress. This game's gonna get so strange. I hate everything about this right now. Alright, in comes a Discharge. We survive it, but the second one would knock us out. so they do end up throwing it. I think at this point they might just Thundershock us down. I needed to go for a catch right there, but I was hoping that... I didn't have the perfect count, so I was just hoping at that point that we'd have enough in the tank. Hold on. They don't realize that I was only 2 away from the move here. A little bit risky to instantly throw this, because they could have gone for a catch, right? But I was hoping they didn't know that. And I think they're 1 rollout away from getting knocked out on Fortress. Oh! Okay, so we just get the win. Nice. Dude, Flamigo leads to some of the craziest games out there. I'll take it. All right, next battle. Come on, Flamigo, I believe in you. You've been putting in some work here. Oh, no. That's less good. At least Flamigo has some neutral damage I can get against this Pokemon, but we'll have to see how safe my Licky Licky is here, because sometimes Licky Licky is, like, incredibly safe into these teams, and sometimes it's not. Okay. So this is one of those situations where we probably wonder what they would do to a single Empoleon lead. You know what I mean? Like, Empoleon is a Pokemon in Pokemon Go. Last time I checked, it was a Pokemon eligible in Pokemon Go PvP. Well, we probably just lose this game. This is a stupid team. This is a stupid team. What else can I say? It's stupid already. I've only seen 2 Pokemon. Oh, man. Like, because the problem is I can't really farm this down with my Flamigo, so, like, I'd have to bring in my final Pokemon, and, like, I don't think I get 3 Shadow Balls off against this thing. Oh, well, I might if they go for a Moonblast here. I get... Oh, they get the... debuff? Well, that's really bad. Like, why did that have to happen? I was already in a really bad spot, and they just get the debuff. I'm gonna play this one out long enough to try to see the 3rd Pokemon. That's all I really want to see right now. It's probably gonna be Talonflame, you know, something that I really don't want to see with my Cresselia, right? But I want to see it. I want to guarantee how bad this is gonna be for me. Honestly, maybe I wouldn't mind a shield here. If they shield this up and throw energy... Oh, okay, well, they let go of Switch. Well, this is annoying. I'm just going to bring in Flamigo right now. It could be a terrible play. But, like, what am I supposed to do? I see the 3rd Pokemon, at least. I'm going to shield this up. At least I saved some energy on my Licky Licky. Okay. And we'll go here for the upper hand. I'm hoping they might just not know their Flamingo counts. Like, there's always a chance at that, right? And I can one-shot Quagsire potentially later on this game if I have to with Cresselia. If they mess up here with their counts, which they don't, they're actually just perfectly on point. Don't love seeing that. But like there might still be a chance here. I don't know. I have the energy on Licky Licky that I can go for a combo play with at some point, and that could be good. Like it opens up an opportunity at the very least, and that's all I need is like a small chance to win this game. That said, I think there's too much energy across the board here. We'll see, we'll see. What's their second move? They haven't thrown anything other than Weather Balls, but they might just be spamming Weather Balls here just to try to get as much damage as possible. Smart swap out by them. I hope they Stone Edge, though. Actually, do I even hope that? I mean, they win by switching out there. That's a good play. That's a really good play, because now I can't do the play I needed to. I needed to be able to get a shield against that A9, and then have a Grass Knot for this, but they have too much energy. At least I see the 3rd, although I'm going to be honest, that is such a bad team. That is such a bad team. At least Quagsire makes a little bit of sense in the back as like a way to deal with the Empoleons, kind of, but even then, that's just stupid. Alright, well, let's try to avoid the ABA fairies here. Oh, wait, that's a good lead. I kind of forgot we could win leads. Probably on counter as the Shadow Annihilate. They might just stay in the lead. They are not on counter. They're actually on low kick. Okay. If I'm being honest here, I don't have a great answer to this Pokemon, so I'm fine with this. And I'm actually pretty fine into that Annihilate as well this game. So as long as I whittle this down, that's going to be good for us. I wouldn't be surprised with the way they play this out if the final Pokemon is their own Licky Licky. That would make a lot of sense. I think that's a team comp that I played before, not with low kick Annihilate, but just in general with Annihilate. I think that's not a bad idea. They're going to likely go for a no shield here, but maybe they shield. Yeah, they do let that go. Okay, and we get a rollout through. I guess they threw an alignment there or something. I don't know why they did that. But Annihilate is not exactly the most consistent Pokemon to take down Licky Licky either, right? Because Shadow Ball is going to knock them out if they try to go for a farm down. And that is only an air cutter coming through right now. So we can let that go. Annihilate could come back in right now, but I think that doesn't help them out too much if it does. Or, alright. I mean, they stayed in the lead. That's what I saw them do. I saw it happen. So what I'm going to do here is I'm not bringing in my Flamigo like they want. I'm going to bring in my Cresselia instead. They might be lagging a little bit, or maybe they're just like waiting to see what's happening. But I'm going to bring in Cresselia because I should survive 2 Rage Fists here, right? Barely, but I will. And this will allow my Flamigo to hopefully just close out this endgame. We'll see, though. Big Rage Fist. We survive it. It does hurt quite a bit, though. Alright, big Grass Knot coming through him. This should knock him out from this range, or get the final shield, but I would be surprised to see his shield come up right now. I feel like that would not be the best play. Okay, well, they do shield. And they'll go for the full farm down. But my Flamigo now can go for the reverse farm down here. And I have a lot of energy on Flamigo. I can likely get 2 upper hands off against almost anything in the backline, or at least a Brave Bird. And do they have 2 attacks here? They might, but they might not. I actually have kind of lost count. They do, and they survive on 1 HP. But that's still fine. I don't get knocked out by, like, a lot of fast food pressure here too quickly. So I think a lot of things in the backline would be very playable. Is it Licky Licky? That's my first question. And my second question is, what else could it be? Shadow K-Whack. All right. I would imagine they don't want to take a Brave Bird, but maybe I should have gone double upper hand. But I feel like Brave Bird's got to just one-shot them, right? I'm a Flamigo. I'm a Flamigo, and that's all you got to know. Okay, let's go. Good stuff, Flamigo. Oh, SJ. Is SJ gonna be disrespecting the Flamigo? Not really. But also, like, it's not the hardest answer to us. We'll see what happens, though. Alright. He lets us reach a move first. That's nice. I am very scared of Ninetales, though, because I'm kind of hard-walled here with my Cresselia. And they just outpace us. I'm going to let this go. I think getting a shield advantage is not bad for us, necessarily. And they can't really Ember us down, can they? Alright. Well, he actually just lets us get here. I was not expecting that. Upper hand should get the second shield. But, like, it does have a lot of energy on this Ninetales, which I also don't love, necessarily, but we'll see what he does here. He could go for an instant overheat, or this might just be a Weather Ball. It's just a Weather Ball, okay. And I think the safe play is to shield the next attack. Can this be an overheat, though? I'm going to shield. I think it could. Well, okay, it's a Weather Ball. Oh, nice catch. Not going to lie, really nice catch. But I have done enough rollout damage, I believe, to the Ninetales that maybe I'm still in a playable spot here. 6, so they have the move now. 7. Okay, they overfarm a little bit. I can survive a move here. I don't necessarily want to take another attack from this Pokemon. I'm going to do 2 and throw. 10. So they do have access to their Body Slam right now. That's why I'm going to go for the Grass Knot. This should knock out thanks to the Body Slam chip damage, actually. But what's in the back here? They come back in Ninetales. I'm going to shield this again because I have no idea what the final Pokemon's going to be, and I feel like I kind of have to save my Cresselia in case they actually overheat us at some point. Does this Grass Knot even knock out? Maybe I should have Moonblasted, but I went for the Grass Knot because I'm greedy. I'm very greedy. You get the knockout. Oh, that is not what I thought would be back there at all. I think that's pretty playable. But it will be a little closer than I'd like it to be. Just because at this point, my Cresselia is low on HP, and so is my Licky Licky, right? And I don't know if 1 Body Slam is going to be enough to knock out here, actually. Ah, that's so sad. I actually don't know. But I couldn't have gone for double Grass Knots. This game's going to get so close. What are they going to throw here? Do they go for a Swift or an Icy Wind? Probably Icy Wind, right? But maybe they Swift, because I think Swift does do more raw damage, but Icy Wind debuffs me. Oh, they just have me no matter what. Dang it, no! That was so close, actually. That was so close. That Ninetales just throwing Weather Balls over and over again actually got to me. Wiggly just bulky enough in the backline to win them the game. If I would have overfarmed more somewhere, maybe I could have had a chance, but honestly, I think I overfarmed about as much as I could have. Dang, only a 3-2, but I mean a 5-5 here with these 2 sets with Flamigo. Not terrible. get back into the 3200s. Man, Flamigo definitely did not disappoint today. Only an even record there with those two sets, but even still, I feel like this Pokemon is a lot of fun to use. It definitely could use a buff. I don't really know. I think it might actually learn Peck in the main series, so if it could learn that, it would be a little bit better than Wing Attack, but even still, I think Flamigo is a lot of fun to use. Give it a go if you want to try out a bit more of a funny spice pick. But yeah, thank you for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.